Man the God and $200 million. Good for him. I think that's really cool. He just signed a major deal with Netflix, as did iHeartMedia, and I'm going to tell you all about it. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and in 2 minutes, this finance professor is going to break down some of the economic implications and what I'm seeing in this situation. Charlamagne just signed, from what I understand, a 5-year, $200 million deal with Netflix as part of a broader deal with iHeartMedia. iHeartMedia is going to maintain the audio rights. But Netflix is going to have the video rights for I think about 15 of the biggest shows on iHeartMedia, and also, from what I understand, the Black Effect podcast or network, that Charlamagne has, is all going to go over to Netflix. And I wonder what that looks like when things are not available on YouTube. That's yet to be determined. But let me just share a personal story about Charlamagne. I've known this guy for a long time, ever since he was back on the Wendy Williams show. I gave him a copy of my book in 2007. It was called What If George Bush Were a Black Man? And I met a lot of celebrities, and I gave him copies of my book, like Damon Wayans and people like that. And I didn't think he was going to read it because, he's busy, right? He doesn't have time to read it. The next time I saw him on that show, he'd read the book. And I can say this, he and Wendy were two of the best people I ever interviewed with. And I was really sad to see them break up when all that happened and they left. And let me just say this too, for anybody that wants to hustle their way to the top. I don't know how you feel about Charlamagne, but this is just my 2 cents. I remember after Wendy left radio, it seemed like Charlamagne hit a rough spot. He was doing local radio down in South Carolina on some station that nobody listened to. And I would go on the show and he'd have me for an hour. And I'd say, gosh, an hour is a lot of time. But I'd do it anyway, because I'd say if I was down and out, I'd want somebody to do this for me. And then he called again the next Sunday. My brother say, Charlamagne wants to interview this Sunday. And I'd say, oh, man, I ain't got time. But then I was thinking, you know what, let's just be respectful, because, it seems like he's working his way back. And lo and behold, he's on The Breakfast Club, and he becomes one of the most iconic hosts. You can like him or not like him, but you can't deny his existence, and you can't deny his power in the industry. And so this is just a little note. I'm taking a little bit longer than 2 minutes, but I hope you'll bear with me on this. This is a note for everybody who's out here hustling. This is a note for anybody out here who's trying to figure out how to catch that secret sauce. You have to create your own magic. You got to be your first biggest investor. You have to be the one who believes in you before the rest of the world does, because I sat there and watched this brother literally scrap away on this crappy little station with no support, just positioning himself for the next opportunity. So most people don't have that resilience. I want you to have that resilience, because I want you to win. Anyway, I'm into investing. I pick stocks all the time. If you're interested in knowing what I invest in, you're on Instagram, put the word profit in the comments and I'll send you some stocks. Let's get it cracking. Talk to you later. Peace.